drops of blood run down your back while I'm on mine. Your tongue can do more than lie. I know we're wrong, but we feel so right. You try to bring me down, but I keep rising. You aren't ready for this fight. I know I will burn your dreams to ashes. I fought my way up from the bottom before. I'm not afraid to climb again. I rise every time. You try to bring me down, but I keep rising. You aren't ready for this fight. I know I will burn your dreams to ashes like a phoenix. Oh, I will I love the way you look at me. We're the only ones. When I'm with you, the world fades away. When you smile at me, I just can't breathe anymore. Feel like I'm falling into your bliss. Your love, it sets me free.
Let's do it.
Here we
Rage.
are. Hello, yes, rage. Everyone, give us our barbarian rage. Roar. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Behind the Veil, a UR Legion story. We are Wednesday. We are having fun. We are rocking it out with some D20s. Yes, amazing. Hello, my name is Eric. I am your host with the most, or the least, whatever roles I have some D20s. I have the most. I don't have the most D20s. I think if we did a competition of how many D20s our players and all of us combined had, I don't think I'm the winner, but regardless,
Our D20s combined.
Oh my God, we are my newest. By the way, speaking of D20s, last week I showed off my giant D20 stuffy, squishable, nice and comfy. But I was last week I was holding on to this one D20. I kept wanting to roll it for like the longest time as like Caius was like running around going, I try to steal this, I try to steal that, and I'm just like holding this going, when do I get a chance to roll? But what's really fun with this one, it's one that I got last year in a advent calendar, a D20 advent calendar, or a dice advent calendar, and it has a little tiny bone inside. So literally when I'm rolling the bones, I am literally rolling a little tiny bone inside my D20. and it's a whole set. So like I got a D10, a percentile die, all that stuff. Anyways, if people are curious,
Bag of bones.
where they can get their dice advent calendar, hit up the You Are Legion stream pages, and we'll send you that info. Cool. So, hello everyone. Those of you who are probably listening to that intro music, I have to say, beautiful intro music brought to us from a good dear friend of mine who is clearly also a wonderful musician. And I'm going to put in chat here her information if you want to know more about her music, or you want to listen to more of her tracks. Her name is Xanis. You can find her on YouTube at Xanis Music. Waiting for chat to... There we go. Send. Did it send? There we go. So if you want to know more about the music that you heard at the beginning of stream, that is where you would go to hear more. She also has a Spotify channel. But she was like, that's a super long, like this long tag, so like just tell people to search me on Spotify and you'll find her. So there you go. There we go. So without further ado, let's begin by introducing our players who have been with us for the last 2 weeks and for this week and another week. We have, going in clockwise order, we have Annie, who is playing the tiefling Maeve, who has recently divulged that she can potentially bring people back from the dead or heal them really well, but she's not 100% sure how that works yet. So what? Right? Strange new news. We have Ter who was having a wonderful conversation with his horse last week. His horse, stupid. Having a wonderful conversation. We have Chase, who was playing Rembrandt, who at any and every opportunity is finding more followers for Ao, or Ow. How do we pronounce that again? Is it Ow?
Ow.
Ow, yeah.
Ow, like ouch.
Like ouch, okay. Ow, like ouch. Excellent. And then we have Neil, who is playing Caius, who, let's see if he can pick more pockets and lockpick some more doors, and get some acquire some more goods for himself and or for the group. Yeah. So when we last left our heroes, it took them 2 hours to conduct a 45-minute blimp airship ride, and then they arrived in a small dirt town that had a lot of wooden buildings on the edge of Coalition territory. Ter spoke with a couple of the Solar Knights, inquiring about their work here in this particular small town, and they announced the information that he received was that as of late, the city of Limbara, which is a day's ride away, has been causing a lot of havoc, a lot of trouble, and so the top brass have sent an extra regiment. So there are 3 regiments now that are posted along this border. And they acquired themselves some horses, not the Solar Knights, our heroes, of course. They acquired themselves some horses. Ter had a nice, lovely conversation with his horse, Stupid, who was, unbeknownst to the owners, they called him Stupid because the horse just keeps chewing at the wall, but Ter discovered that Stupid was actually recreating art, and recreating one of his most favorite ever memories of seeing this amazing hill with a large gray block thing on top, and seeing the bright ball of fire in the sky shining towards him, and upon his recommendation, everyone followed Ter and thinking, you know what, this place could be really special. We should go to this place that Stupid is talking about. Unbeknownst to them, when they arrived there, it was really just Stupid has been to Limbara before. That is basically where Stupid is from. And Stupid just remembers seeing Limbara for the first time and how beautiful it was to him. And so here we are on a beachhead next to a vast ocean. Our heroes are on their horses, mounted, looking up at Limbara, which is just a few kilometers away. And the last thing they spotted before we kind of ended session was that they noticed that Limbara is right on the edge of a cliff, a precipice cliff that comes straight down to the water, the crashing waves. And on that precipice, they saw a whole bunch of a lot of construction, a lot of cranes and other things, and in the water, lots of ships. One ship, many ships. As GM, I let everybody know that everybody would know this, that Limbara is a port city, right? And actually that everybody in this world basically knows that Limbara, part of Limbara's, let's say, cachet of the ruling class, if you will, sort of came from pirating, among other things that happen along the seas and waters. So, a fleet of sheeps, exactly, a fleet of sheeps. I love it. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. So, what's happening?
We have to decide.
Remind me, what are we? We didn't rest or anything, right? We're just like heading to the city.
Correct. You all decided to not rest throughout the night because when you arrived at the at the small town on the borders of Coalition territory, and you got onto the horses and started traveling, night was coming, and you all decided that time was of the essence. You decided to just keep riding. You guys felt pretty comfortable, and just decided to keep riding. So we are now cresting at the beginning of the day. So I'm gonna say that the sun is coming up. It's around maybe like 8 o'clock in the morning of sorts, and so yeah, the sun is coming up behind you as it's coming up and over, and you have Limbara, as I said, about a kilometer or so away from you. Off in the distance on the top of this hill, cliff face sort of thing.
Nice.
Should we go in?
I think we have a series of problems we're going to have to solve. The first of which is entering the city. Now, normally I'd say there's quite a number of ways to enter the city, but of course we want to enter the city in a way that we're not going to be hounded by more guards once in there. So, I do have an option that were I by myself, having spent some time with the druids in the deep forest, I could probably get by myself, but I think it's more important that we get our tiefling lass here, who has a personal connection with the group that we think might be in control of this explosive device. Now, I could potentially create some sort of diversion at the gates, but why don't we hold that off in case our wonderful Rembrandt here is unable to talk our way through?
I think
Sound
that's
plan.
wise. Yeah, we stick with the less noticeable stuff for now.
Aye.
Yeah.
We can always go
mean-
big.
Exactly. And whatever we find at the gate, like, they give us a reason to not be coming in. Maybe we can react to it in a moment. We could even say maybe we're here to work. We got hired on for a new outing on one of those ships or something, you know?
Yeah, I don't
Aye,
know if
aye.
they're going to recognize me right away because I think everybody thinks I might be dead.
In a good way or a bad way? Like they want you to be dead or they'd be happy to see you alive?
Yeah. And do you want to remain dead to them?
I'm not sure, so maybe I don't want them to know for now.
Okay.
That would be best.
Fair. All right. Fair.
Nope.
Fair.
So maybe we approach it with, "Hey, we're pirates too. Let us in. We want to be
Yeah.
pirates." And then, if that doesn't fail, we go to mind trickery. And then, if that fails, we go to, "Hey, we know people here." And then, if that fails, we'll just break it.
And we
I
look
think
like
if-
pirates in our new disguises.
Aye.
Yeah,
Worst
I
comes to
can-
worst, if we fail all the other steps, I'll create some of a scene, and y'all can just get through. Don't worry about me. I'll find you later.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna cast disguise self, and look like a pirate with an eye patch and a peg leg and
I
a
I see,
pirate
s-
jacket.
Yes, I see the classic the classic pirate disguise. Of course. Any parrots or any monkeys or anything as a familiar?
Well, I can't. Unfortunately, the spell is a bit limited, so no animals.
Boo.
But I'll give myself a bit of a peg leg. I'll
Peg
avoid.
hand and a hook leg.
No, I'll avoid the hook. Gotta have my hands available for praying
Oh.
and shit.
A hook leg and a peg
Yeah,
and a hook leg and a peg hand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hook leg and a peg hand. That's right.
that sounds super manageable.
And I'll be just a human pirate. Change my race to human as well.
Amazing. So you decide to approach. You decide to approach the city, correct? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so yes, I agree, Vic. Rembrandt equals Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, except a little more devilishly handsome. I don't know if that's possible.
More?
Maybe, yeah.
Is
I don't
that
know.
possible?
I think so. So just
Everyone has their own.
as you approach the city of Lembara, just gonna re-describe to you, just to remind you what Lembara looked like, right? As well as you, but also for chat as well. So Lembara, as I described, is at the top of a hill of a cliff face that leads directly into the ocean. At the very top of the cliff face, at the very edge of the cliff face, is where you see the fortress that was built a long time ago. It's a rather sizable fortress made with a lot of gray stone, stone that's very popular and familiar, very common, sorry, I should say, to be found in this area once you dig deep enough, and also rocky shore, right, hills and stuff like that. The outer wall of the fortress, the bastion, if you will, has some very high walls, which create, if we were looking at it from a top view, basically create a nice half moon, sort of like all the way around from edge to edge of the cliff face, with the castle or fortress right at the edge, right? Living on the edge, you can't help yourself from falling. Anyways, can't sing too much more of that, or else all of a sudden we get cut. Then afterwards, the city seems to be separated into like rings. So after that first set of walls, there is a second set of walls a little deeper in. There are some you see some buildings that are you see some buildings between that wall up to another wall. The second wall has more of an orangey tone to it. It's kind of a mix between a gray orange. A lot of the stones and somewhat basic bricks that were built to make this wall was clearly taken more from the desert area, since a lot of the land and dirt in that area was more of a yellowy orange sand sort of terrain. And then continuing with the ring, as you get closer, you actually do start to notice that the rings get wider and wider, and there are two more rings. After that orangey type wall, there's another ring that has again, buildings, but this time instead of being stone buildings mixed between uh, brick and gray stone, which is what we find between the fortress wall and this orangey wall, you're seeing a lot more stone and wood type constructions. Some of these constructions are built directly off of the wall. It's as if like people are just finding places to build and just building. And that particular area is much wider, like double the wideness of the previous ring. That one has a makeshift, somewhat of a makeshift wooden wall. Um, Again, just wooden wall. A lot of really tall stakes sticking through, not as tall as the previous two walls, but still something that separates that section with the next section. The next section, the one that as you're approaching is the first one that you come to, is uh, 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 a lot of. This one is mostly built of wooden type shacks, with some tents. You're seeing a lot of like material type housings of different shapes, forms. Some of them are dome like. Some of them are very simple. Like they look square, so clearly like there's some like support posts sort of thing, but it's all um, uh, uh, material that's on for the walls sort of thing. And you in this particular area you just see a bustle of people, like just so many different species here, from human to elves to some dwarves, drow, kenku. You're just seeing like a large variety of different species, but a lot of them. One thing that everyone is noticing is that a lot of them seem to be very much like their surroundings. They're living off the land, right? They're clearly living off the land. They're like if we had to give it like a class, sort of thing, they are lower class, sort of sorts. We as you're approaching, you're just seeing a lot, again, a lot of species, adults, children running around doing different things, people trading, people talking, people just walking by. You hear some people arguing off in the distance, and this sea of just of uh, blankets on the ground and these ramshackly constructions. They just seem to just go on for as like forever almost. Except you can sort of, that it does eventually end, because at one point there is a bit of a cliffside on both sides. Yeah.
Just to confirm, Eric,
Mhm.
how many rings in the city are there?
So there's
Because I caught like the yellow. There's a wooden. There's an outer wooden.
there's
I think I missed.
that's okay. There's the fortress, the inner circle, if you will. This is the fortress. Then there's the first ring, which is a lot of stone and brick looking buildings. That one can be found between the gray stone and slash gray brick wall, which is closest to the fortress, and the orange wall. Then after that, you have the next ring, which has a lot more, some stone buildings, but mostly wooden buildings that lead up to the wooden wall. And then after that, it just opens up to the rest of the world, to the elements, sort of thing.
So it's like four.
Correct. Correct.
Cool. Yeah, I think Tour is just gonna stay. I like back, like let the faces go first. Maybe riding beside Maeve, like kind of beside, or like maybe instead beside or slightly behind her, but letting Um, Rembrandt and Caius kind of be the two at the front. They seem to talk best.
Nice, 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 nice.
Or at least the most.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah.
Nice. So okay, so
So-
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You're
No.
still describing.
Oh no no no. Go, it sounded like there was a bit of a lull, so I was just gonna help potentially keep describing some stuff. But if you have questions, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, my reaction time is very slow today.
That's okay. That's all right.
So did we like make it through the gates, or are we still kind of like at the gates and we're trying to get through? How
So-
heavily guarded is it? And
Yeah, so the first ring of Lembara is open to the elements. It's open to like
Oh, great.
there's no wall that up to that, right? It's basically anybody who's living outside, if you will, essentially of the city, but they're living close to the city because then that way they can have access to the different shops and the different things that they can find within the city, right? The different businesses and whatnot, right? But you know, having lived in Forge City and knowing this world, like clearly these people are probably living here because there's nowhere else to go. This is probably like the one place that they found where they can get food, sort of thing, right? They don't have to go too far. They probably don't have a lot of like, especially the outer ring. They probably don't have a lot of money, and so they're basically just surviving. And the way they can survive is just by to living close to the city, and being able to find work and food and that sort of thing, however they can, whenever they can.
Maeve, what kind of level of operation did you were you a part of, right? Like, is this the kind of neighborhood that you would want to try and like have your organization disappear into when you were a part of it? Or was it
Well-
more like a bit of a higher up, we're in kind of with some important people type of thing?
I mean, I was just part of the group that like did stuff. We weren't really told a lot. You know, we were just they promised us like food and shelter and like clothes if you needed, and then like they just give us missions to do, and then we just go and do it. They're like, go and ransack the stand, and we go do it. Go and blow this tower up, and we do it, and they'll give us what we need. But
Yeah.
they never really
When they
tell us
told you
anything.
that, well, when they were telling you to go blow up the tower or whatever else, was it like a particular kind of meeting point? Did you have any like symbols or any like messages that you would want to, like leave around that you could look for? Like, how did they contact you?
I kind of just hung out with like we have like these hideouts that they just let us live in, but they kind of like keep you together so you don't like talk to outside people a lot. So they just provide you with shelter. So I wouldn't be out in the open. It's usually like a bit further into the city.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
it wasn't like in a really rich area, but it was just enough that like, we would not be suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
There will be like 4 or 5 of us in like a house or a small cabin or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I wonder um I wonder if we could maybe ask around.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking now. Because if this is the kind of like, it seems like the further into the city we go, the probably wealthier the people will be, and I want to try and be like, well, are we looking for the people who are really rolling in it, or the people who are rolling a different kind of it?
Right. But you know what though? I did I I didn't start off really well. My parents are really poor, and like this would be the kind of place where they would recruit us if we were like if we seemed like likely candidates. That's this they would come and find us here. So I don't know. I know I'm not being very clear. I'm just telling you kind of what I know, but they don't tell us
Yeah.
anything. They just tell us
Yeah.
what to do in exchange for like safety and food.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I get that. Okay. So then we maybe want to look for like a tavern or something, maybe out here, a place that people would meet up just as like a communal space and see what we can find out there.
Yes.
If there's any gossip, yeah.
Yeah, cool. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm by.
Yay, more
Just
drinks.
just so the chat knows, I've transformed into an orc pirate. So I will now have an Eastern European orcish accent.
Okay.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. So walking through this outer ring, you all it's very obvious as you're walking through this outer ring, that there really isn't, like, other than like someone setting up like a very basic, simple, like, table with cloth and like selling things and whatnot. There aren't really any buildings per se in this outer area. It's mostly just people living, and it's, for lack of a better term, it's kind of like a refugee town, right? Like, there really isn't any businessy sorts of things, right? But there are clearly some roadways, right? There are clearly paths that that are unofficial, but clearly paths that people don't set up in so that people can walk, sort of like similar to streets, except just there's just no markings or nothing. It's just, you just see the dirt is worn in certain areas, and so you can clearly see that, okay, we go this is a road, and this is a road, and that's a road, and that's a, that sort of thing. There is one main road that is larger than the others, of course, that leads towards the wall, that leads towards an opening in the wall. And you see people coming in and out of that wall quite freely. I'm just gonna, if it's all right with you guys, I'm just gonna like guide you along, because, as I said, in this area here, you're not gonna find what you're looking for. You're not going to find your tavern that you're looking for. So approaching the wall, though, everyone notices that there are a couple of Wanti soldiers that are standing. They are of the they're Wanti abominations, if you will. Wanti abominations are the particular evolution, if you will, of this species, where they have an upper torso that has two arms, an upper torso from the waist up, with a head, very snake-like, very scaly all the way through, but no legs. The bottom part of their body is a snake body, that goes all the way down, and there's one on either side of this one opening, and they don't seem to be doing anything except just standing there and just keeping an eye on things, just watching. They both of them have, they're both wearing leather armor of a red color, adorned with some metal pieces, some of it being like chainmail. They both have a sword that is what's the word I'm looking for? In its sheath, but across their back. And in their right hand, they both have a spear with quite a nasty looking curved blade on the end. I mean, it's not really a spear if it's got a curved blade. It's more of a halberd, if you will.
Kind of like a naginata, kind of like.
Yes, actually, yes, like a naginata halberd. Like it's just a naginata being for those who are not familiar with it, naginata is a Japanese weapon, which is basically a small katana, a wakizashi, if you will, blade on a long polearm, which can then be used with a lot of slashing motions and stuff like that. This is more of a halberd style, so it's not a thin blade, but it's more of a thicker blade that goes all the way around, and then at the back there's just a nasty hook. Basically, a hook, right? for anybody who's a bit of a weapons or history nerd sort of thing, um, if anybody is familiar with halberds and whatnot, some of what they were, the pole arms that they were originally designed for were for pulling people down from their horses, which is why a lot of these, especially the ones that are made in Europe, they have that nasty hook on the backside, spikes, a hook, and then a blade, because you were able to cut, thrust, stab, right, like hammer with the thing, but then also you could hook a rider on their horse and yank them down. And so this is one of those blade with a huge hook on the backside. The blade just kind of like curves into the hook, if you will. So they're just standing guard. They're not really. They don't appear to be moving. Like they are breathing. They are alive. Like that is evident. But they're not really doing anything. They're just standing there. Now, upon entering into this past the wooden wall, right? You're able to flow in and out just like everybody else does. Once you're in, this is where you're starting to see things being a little bit more structured in terms of like where the buildings are, where the roads are. As for buildings just kind of like they just go up. Sometimes the odd building looks like it's a bit of a ramshackle, where you're just kind of thinking to yourself like, how in the world is that staying up there? But it does. If anybody has seen some really old European buildings where like the buildings kind of, they do this and all of a sudden they start doing this, and you're like, how in the world are they still standing? They just do. It's really weird. It's really cool how that sort of works. Yeah. Oh, awesome. If that was you, Coy, who posted that link, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Just for reference.
Yeah, thank you.
For our lovely audience.
So we
I'm
just
gonna
kinda-
follow. I'm following the party, so just
Yeah, so I guess
just
we kinda
gonna
just
keep
walk
going
through
till we get
without
stopped.
I guess we just walked through without a problem. Like, they didn't spare a second glance. Like,
No, because like again,
Good.
you just seemed like one of the masses, one of the people that's just in the area. Yeah.
great. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. So in this,
The costumes are working.
it's just the costumes are working. In this, so as I mentioned, in this first ring, this main road you can see just keeps going straight, and off into the distance, quite a couple hundred meters away, you see the next door, the next entranceway into the next ring of the city. But in this area here, like I said, you're starting to see a lot more structured buildings. So you are seeing shops. You are seeing some places where people are standing outside and having a drink and whatnot, and having conversations. But again, bustling city, so bustling cityscape sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, shall we find a drink and find information?
I guess we can just ask anybody if they know the closest tavern or bar. Hey,
Is that a
you.
place you
I
would
just-
frequent?
Grab the nearest guy.
Grab the nearest. Yeah. You
Yeah.
grab the nearest passerby, and they just turn to you and be like, "Wow, what's up? What?"
We are looking for bar. Where is bar?
I don't know. Like there's food place there and there's food place there. And like, what do you want? Like, do you want like fish? Do you want like meat? Do you want like all vegetarian meal? There's like, you just gotta explore, man. That's just what Lembar is. These outer rings are it's just chaos. You just gotta keep looking finding what you're looking for.
I'm gonna roll a intimidation check and say, we want bar, peasant. There is bar for drink.
Yeah, right. Okay, so the place I like to go to is this place over here. The water's pretty good. If you got some coin, they got some decent stuff. I mean, like, if you want the really good stuff, you gotta start going a little further into the inner rings. Although you gotta, it's not as easy. But I mean, y'all look pretty respectable. You probably fit right in, sort of thing, with some of the higher ups classes. But yeah, anyways, just anywhere, man. You just go anywhere. yeah, the closer you go to the middle, the better the quality stuff you're gonna get. I don't know. I don't know what to tell
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you. I shove him away.
Oh,
You may go. Thank you.
yeah, all
Thank you,
right.
sir.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
Well, all right. Yeah.
I, I think, I think I'm just not trying to be polite at all.
Meh.
Um, um, I feel like what he's saying is we should go further in.
It sounds so. That peasant was useless.
Very useless.
Yeah, I mean,
We
it
will
worked on the
cost
first
someone
gate.
else. Mm.
On it worked on the first gate, so maybe we just go through this one, and if we get stopped, then we throw on Plan Pirate or Plan Sisters of Mander or Plan Tour Distraction, and we go through.
What's Plan
What?
Sisters of Mander? Have we discussed this plan?
Well, the Sisters of Mander is the organization we're looking for
Oh,
that Fritz told us about.
no, I know.
yeah.
Okay, I thought you said we're gonna use the plan called Sisters of Mander. I was like, what?
Oh yeah.
What is this plan? I don't
we
know
didn't
what
have
this
a plan.
means.
Yeah.
Does this mean we just go tell us where Sisters of Mander is?
I just meant like first is general. We'll just say we're here to be hired as pirates, and then second is hey, maybe we try and be a little bit more specific with we're looking to join the Sisters of Mander, and then Plan C is we just break in.
I think
I see where we're going with this.
I think Tuur is gonna. I want to try. I think Tuur's gonna try something. Going over to trying to find just like someone who looks like very destitute. In that like they're not moving, like they're just kind of sitting and like staying in a space next to the road or whatever. Coming up on his horse, oversized horse. Gonna cast a little subtle druid craft to make like some flowers blossom around them, and toss a couple of lower value coins their way, and ask where he can find the Sisters of Mander.
Cool.
That is
Yeah.
very
Loving this.
Alright,
Loving
right.
this.
Very
loving this.
specific. Very specific. This is good plan.
I immediately start sweating.
I think like he's trying to do it kind of like stepping aside from the group,
Yeah.
so that it's not like so that he's not like a part of everyone necessarily. I'm not gonna hide if anyone's looking for Tuur to be doing it, but not trying to keep them included necessarily.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you happen to find someone who just like when you kind of look around, you do spot someone who's like the classic picture of just someone just lying there, right? And just clearly they're breathing, but they're just not moving. They're just staring off into nothing, and just leaning up against a building. And you approach them, everything you've described right there, and it's not until they hear the jingle of the coins hitting the ground that you see them perk up, and they suddenly slowly follow the horse legs up and look at you, right?
Hello,
And-
friend. I'm searching for the Sisters of Mander. Could you point me in the right direction?
Stand up. You're one of them?
Aye.
I mean, I knew the group was small, but like, I mean, they've been recruiting everywhere, but like,
Actually, you see, it's okay if we call each other small, but it's not so.
oh no, sorry, I didn't mean no disrespect. I didn't mean like you were small. I was just saying like yeah, I mean like,
No, of course.
I mean,
There's more coin where they came from, by the way.
oh yeah, no, cool. I mean, sure. I mean, I don't really know much. I know that all I know is that this new head honcho came into town not too long ago, and seems to be friends and keeps trying to convince people to join his group. He doesn't come.
Where can I find this head honcho?
Oh well, I mean, most of the time it's one of his disciples that come out and talk to us over here in the outer rings. He has a lot of chats in the inner ring, uh, he seems he's really become really good friends, with the general, who mostly keeps in the fortification.
Do they wear anything that signifies their identity that they might share, such as a color or a sash?
Oh, well, I mean, for one, as you know, like, they're all the acolytes are all one T. Um,
Aye, but there's so many in the city, aren't there?
yeah, no, that's true, very true. But like, in these outer rings, and like especially this outer ring here, I don't really go into the middle ring very often. Rarely. Sometimes I sneak in, grab.
Can
grab
jingle the
grab
coin
that.
purse a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. Let me just get to the point here. Like on the outer ring here, if they're not guard, then they're probably one of the manders. Yeah, it's they're usually wearing a blue robe, if that helps anything.
A blue robe.
Yeah,
Aye.
a blue robe with like a white rose, right here, like on the lapel. But they're often approaching, people like myself. I keep taking their food, but I keep saying no. I keep never going to the meetings. But they keep.
Aye. Well, then now you shan't have to. I'm gonna give him a few more coins, and just ride back to the group. We're looking for blue robes with a blue robes with a white rose.
Blue robes with white rose.
Great.
How did you? Yeah, okay, sweet,
Blue
awesome.
hose with white joes. Got it.
I often
is
find
it
the most
white
direct
rose?
route the most efficient.
And
I
how is
love that.
Do we know? So, if we want to get recruited by the Sisters of Mander, do we know if they have like a mission statement? Do we know what they do? Because back in the group that I was in, we had like a very specific mission statement. We were very like, and I don't know if they're gonna do the same here, but I feel like we should try and align ourselves with it
Yeah.
more. You know,
What was
'cause-
this mission statement?
Well, we did not like magic or the gods, which is very ironic, but that's why I got my horns filed down.
Aye.
That's the only way I got to join a group. But
I had in mind that we might present ourselves as already members, because we may not have time
Oh.
to go through an initiation process.
that is true.
What do members
okay.
look like?
So, not much is known about the Sisters of Mander. Fritz was as Fritz pointed out, or Fritz mentioned in your first meeting with him, was that this group was new, and that the only reason why they popped up on the Ascended Vale's radar was that for some strange reason, the leader of this new group seemed to be the leader of the group that Maeve used to be a part of. And why another layer as to why this is strange is because, as was discussed and was kind of confirmed by both Fritz and Maeve, that the bombing mission of a cleric tower was essentially supposed to be a suicide mission, with basically the majority of the members all just running in, causing complete havoc and chaos, and a few of them actually having explosive devices to actually blow up. So it really was let's just cause the biggest havoc we can in this area of Forge City. But as Fritz pointed out, 2 survivors walked away, whereas everybody else pretty much basically didn't. Maeve and this leader, who, again, supposed to be a all for one for all sort of thing, walked away from it, right? And that's why the Sisters of Mander really blipped up on the radar, because it's like, hold on a second, this seems like it's the same person, like now they're doing this again, but now they're in Limbara, who have been extremely vocal, being um, against what Forge City stands for, sort of thing, right? So yeah,
All right. Let's walk to second set of gates and see if we can find a snake person
nice.
with
Aye.
ropes.
Cool.
And I will
do it.
become snake person with ropes.
Let's do it. Let's walk with confidence through the second gates.
Amazing.
Wish I
amazing.
had more
Confidence.
magic friends about.
I'm doing my
It
best.
is,
It's quite easy with magic, isn't it?
well, my little dwarven friend.
You see, it's
You
all
can-
right when we call each other little, but it just doesn't.
So as you're
I'm gonna
oh,
quickly
sorry.
fist bump. Sorry, I just wanted to quickly
ahead.
fist bump Tuor and just say, "Nice move with the beggar."
All right, I just figured everyone needs money. I mean, most people will do anything for money.
True.
That is true.
If you ever would like some magic
Yep.
Dwarf, talk to me. I will help you.
After
As-
this, I am definitely going to pick your brain.
As you're walking through the outer ring, let's call it the wooden ring, if you will, right? Let's call it like the outer ring is the one that is basically the shanty town. The wooden ring is the ring between wood to the red brick, red stone, or orange, I should say, orange because it's orange in color, wall, and then the next layer would be the orange layer or orange quarter, and then after that it would be the fortress layer. Just to clarify things, just to help things out. As you are making your way through this outer ring, I would like everyone to roll a perception check, please. As you're going through.
Ooh.
First roll of the night.
I know, right? And while all our players are rolling, and I have all of chat's attention here, I have a really fun, really cool mechanic that I'm introducing to our campaign series here of Behind the Veil. So, as some of you may know, on the Monday Night OG crew that is GM'd by Koi here, where we are following our Warforged Legion and our heroes trying to save the world from a potential resurgence of evil gods. Chat can influence the decisions that are made by Legion by just giving suggestions and giving their input and whatnot, and the player who is playing Legion, which I recently just finished my little stint as, just you can go ahead and listen to those, read those comments, listen to those comments, and if and basically the way I treated it was that the voices of chat are all the gods that are inside Legion, all screaming in Legion's ears all the time, always yelling these things, right? And for our series, my series, this series, our series, Behind the Veil, I was trying to find how can I bring the gods' will into our sessions here, and I've created a bit of a mechanic. We're bringing the gods. Chat, you are the gods, and you have the ability. You will have the ability every single episode. You will have the ability, one-time use, but they replenish every time, to give a player or the GM a reroll. You'll be able to give a GM or a player advantage, or be able to give the GM or a player disadvantage. So at any point, chat, you can go ahead and just type it in and say, hey, you know what? The gods are not happy. The gods are not happy with let's say Caius comes to roll to lockpick a door and like rolls a 2, right? I mean, even with a 2, he could probably pass. But regardless, he rolls a 2, right? And chat is like, no, we need to get in there. The gods say, do it again, right? And you can the gods grant the favor to our heroes. And so we are getting this started. We are at the moment it's a type it into chat sort of thing. I see Vic is super excited. I knew you were going to be excited about this, Vic. But eventually, what I hope to set up for us here on the channel is is a button that as you are a viewer, you will collect channel points. They're free. Channel points are free. You just collect them as you go, right? And once you hit that cap that allows you, and I'm gonna make it easy. Don't worry, right? But remember, only one per episode, right? At any point, you're like, know what? That needs to happen again. You would just click on it on your Twitch screen program, whatever you're using, whether you're using your smartphone or computer or whatnot or tablet. You would click on it. We would get alerted with a sound. And then we would know, okay, the gods say do it again. Yeah. Once per episode, once per chat participation per episode. Ooh, that's a good question there, Vic. That's a good question. At the moment, I have it as once per episode. But I might change my mind. Might make it spicy and allow everyone to be able to do it at least once. That way we can really get it. Or maybe there's a cooldown. Maybe I'll set it up with a cooldown so that like. Once it happens, it can only happen once per hour, right? Anyway, so all of that just to say, that's fun things coming. It might happen. It might come in the new year. I apologize. I myself am slowly learning how Twitch is working, so I'm slowly like adding these really cool features into this experience for all of y'all. But so at the moment, I'm keeping an eye on chat. Just type it in. Just be like, the gods will it to be redone, or whatever you want to put it, however you want to put it. So, going back to our adventure here, how did everyone roll with our perceptions? Let's start with start with Chase. Chase, you rolled a 4. Rembrandt rolled a 4. All right. Caius, how did you do?
22.
22. Nice. Maeve, how did you do?
Rolled a 6.
A 6. All right. And our Tuur, how did you do? It looked like you did pretty well there.
14.
14. Not bad. All right. So, sadly, Rembrandt and Maeve, you're just too busy. Probably just overwhelmed with everything that's happening around you. I mean, Rembrandt, the way we've been playing things so far, you're probably looking around going, so many people I could talk to, right? And you're probably just like, but I can't, not yet, not right now, right? Maeve, maybe perhaps this is like bringing back a lot of memories of like growing up in this sort of area, right? In Forge City, sort of deal.
I'm stressed.
Yeah, probably a little like, oh god. But for Tuur and for Caius, a 14 is going to do it, especially because in this area of town, with everything being built with like wood, right, and ramshackly, but still wood and all that stuff, not a lot of stone is seen. You two happen to notice off in the distance as you're making your way, kind of like look left or look right, one of the directions, and you do see a structure that is made of stone, gray brick, if you will, and you kind of just glance it as you're kind of passing by one of these smaller alleyways. You just see it off in the distance, about like maybe 20-30 feet away, and then as you know, you don't stop to like to take a closer look. You see this again. It kind of stands out among all of these wooden buildings. Caius, with the 22, you not only notice that it is a gray building, but you notice that it is a gray round building. Like it's round, not very tall, probably about like 12 feet tall, right? So a lot of these buildings kind of are taller than it, but it does have a black what's that? Obsidian tiled peak roof. So
Fancy.
yeah, so you continue. If we do not wish to explore that a little further, you're going to continue on to the dark orange, reddish. I keep changing the color of this wall. It's a very different. It's just think, salt flats.
It's all about perspective.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's all about
Depends on the position
yeah.
of the sun.
Yeah. Just exactly depending on the sun. Yeah.
Before we move on, was there any kind of like sign or like a door or some kind of entrance to that building that I saw either, or no?
You did not notice a sign or a door.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I see no reason to stop her.
Okay, cool.
Did we spot any like blue robed white cap? Sorry, like white. I legit don't remember. I'm sorry.
Blue robe with a white rose.
Yes.
White rose. I was gonna
Yeah.
start making things up.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to be keeping my head on a swivel for that, like just kind of
Mm.
actively looking.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm
sure.
also actively looking.
Let me just see here. No, you did not. You did not notice. You did not notice. Really, what stood out. Was this
Just
gray
that building.
stone, this gray brick. Yeah, this gray brick, round structure that just kind of stood out from the rest of the this area. This ring. Approaching.
I'm just feeling very stressed, and I don't notice anything. I'm just gonna like stick close, and that's it.
Nice. So approaching the orange wall, arriving at the orange wall, you do notice that at this particular point, there are Wanti that are standing guard at this doorway, and built into this wall is a room, right? There's clearly is a like it is flat on the side that you're on, but clearly on the inside you can see that this wall is rather large. There is a doorway. There is a window next to this door, and so you there are more Wanti abominations, standing guards, moving about, and in on the sides. In the middle, there are a couple of you're starting a couple of Wanti abominations that are stopping people. You also notice that there's the odd like one or two of the Malison, the Wanti Malison. The Malison are your next step in evolution of the Wanti, where they have like the upper torso of, like as I described earlier, the lack of a better term, the ape-like or the human-like, upper torso, even though it's all very reptilian, very snake-like head, that sort of thing. But now they actually have legs, right? They actually have legs, no sign of a tail. They have legs. They're still very large, very big, like they go to the gym sort of thing. They don't skip leg or arm day at all. Whereas the Wanti abominations don't skip arm day and they don't skip tail day either. Like they are built, they are built for this life. You notice that the Wanti, it's very obvious. The Wanti that are in the middle, that are kind of like from time to time stopping people. Their gear is much shinier, if you will, than the guards. Like, for lack of a better term, the guards are wearing, as I mentioned, the red leather with the couple of silvery type things, so silver steely type things that show up, with some chainmail. Whereas these particular people that are in the middle, they are wearing. There's more plate, so you see more metal involved in what they are wearing. They still have the red. The red leather, but more pieces. So like there's like clearly a silver pauldrons on either side, right? There is a silver. I forget what the name of this piece is, but in armor you have a ring that goes around like a collar, right? That often goes to protect like your neck, and then basically your helmet kind of goes over top. But they have just the collar that goes across.
I think that's the beaver.
Is that what they call it? Okay,
Is that
yeah.
not the beaver?
I think I think that's what they call it.
That's the beaver.
I think that's what the clothing is called when when it, if you're thinking of like Navy uniforms, right? Like old classic Navy uniforms, they have like that little piece that goes there.
It's like Shakespeare. They reference it in Shakespeare. Yeah,
Oh.
Bevor. Yeah, it's like that part of the armor.
Then we will call it the beaver. They are wearing some beavers.
Also a funny word.
Exactly true, right? And from time to time, as I said, from time to time, they are stopping. It seems like they're having a conversation with the people that they're stopping, and then at the moment you haven't seen them decline anyone or like anyone. No one has turned back. Everyone has just always been like, and they go on their way. I will add one more thing before I from what you see, you can clearly see, as I said, through this large doorway. On the other side, a lot of these buildings are stone, red brick. They are much better built, much better handled, and once you're inside the wall, looking down at the floor, you actually look not floor, the ground. There are actual roads. There are actual like stones that have been put down to denounce where roads are. Yeah.
I suppose we keep walking through gates until we get stopped.
Security
Oh,
is
yeah, sounds
getting
good to me.
higher. But yeah.
We are pirates looking for pirates job. Is that the
At some
plan?
point, we may want to drop off the horses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perhaps we. Yes, we drop horses inside next wall.
I absolutely forgot that Caius is riding a horse right now.
All of us fully ready.
Totally forgot.
We've been. Oh, it's so when I grabbed the guy before, I was going like,
Yeah, you like yeah, exactly like
Reach
you
down.
yeah, you leaned down and he was and he yeah, you literally leaned down and he was like what? He turned around and he was like face full of horse, right? He was like, oh God. Right, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That just made me like 5 times ruder.
Nice. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Awesome. Let's
try.
see how well y'all are able to just walk right past. Ooh. Oh man. You guys are lucky.
Oh, I love an
Yeah,
angry
so-
DM with a bad roll. Oh,
That's
my
okay,
favorite.
that's okay. So
Okay.
Just
right,
means
that's
he's
right.
gonna get
So-
his revenge later.
nonsense. When you see me pull out this die, this is when I really mean it.
Oh God.
No. So no. As you're walking by, you don't get approached. You don't get stopped. You just keep on going, right? You just happen to walk right past the Wanty guards. Nothing stops you. So you're now inside the orange layer, of Limbara. And looking around, as I mentioned, you're seeing a lot more red brick buildings, a lot more stone buildings.
Yeah.
There is still some wood because wood is obviously the easiest thing to build with, but this place has a little more money, right? So you're looking at a little more of those sorts of types of buildings, if you will.
Guys, this has been too easy. I'm stressed.
We have the god on our side.
That's
Yep.
not what I like to hear.
How about all of them? How about that?
No.
We
Just
just
the
like,
one.
oh, well,
Well,
okay,
you can take
know
just the one, but if there's more than one, I'm willing to have everybody on our side.
you know
just-
what? I'm trying to shed that life. It's fine. I'm gonna get a new life soon. Yeah, it's fine. All the gods, great.
No, the gods can kiss my ass.
Even yours?
Oh no, not mine.
But you said
mine.
all, though. You said all. You did say all. You all heard it.
Most of them.
Okay, there we go. See?
We kind of had some. We kind of have something in common. I'm not quite sure what it is. But
Would you like to hear about the one true god?
No, I'm
Maybe
okay.
we'll later when we have more time.
Yeah. When we're gonna do like a
Fair
stakeout, you
enough.
can tell me about it.
For now, do you have like a pamphlet or something? That we could just save for later.
No pamphlet.
That could be a good idea. Cause see, if you're talking to one person and then there's somebody else who also wants to hear about it, you could get them a pamphlet, and then they could
I
review the
find
pamphlet while you're talking to the other person.
We can help
I
you make
find
pamphlets.
direct speech usually is most effective.
Fair enough.
So you enter into this the next ring, and what are we looking for? Are we still looking for a bar tavern? Are we still looking for anybody wearing
Tu-
blue
Yeah,
robes?
Tuur's
with a
looking
white-
for the robe, like robed Wanti. I think
We
that's
need
the main
Snick
thing
person.
that Tuur's looking for at this
Yeah,
point.
I'm also actively looking
Um,
for it, but
But
barring
also
that,
Let's find Snake.
having heard that they're in like the inner circle, that this kind of there's a relationship with the general and the leader. I think the default is just like moving closer. I think Tour's going to follow
Yeah.
the group, assuming that the group is going to get basically trying to get as into the center of this city as possible
Yeah,
until
I
we
think
reach
that's the
someone
goal.
to stop us, or like so, or we see one of these Wanti in a robe.
Of course.
Yeah, I think finding the one T like look that we're kind of going for is going to make getting to that inner circle a lot easier. So I think that's kind of both those things we're trying to do: get to the center and find someone that Rembrandt can kind of spontaneously shapeshift into.
and I guess if both of those fail, we try and find a bar. Is that the plan?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
the bar idea is a good backup, but since we have
Yeah.
like a specific thing,
Yeah, we have a lead.
I also think it might be a good idea, especially now that we're on the inside. We're inside the orange wall now.
Correct.
If we start to circle around, just familiarize ourselves to see whether or not, because like right now we only know this one gate in and out, right?
Yeah, let's
So
go.
maybe we
go
kind
around
of
the
get a bit of
circle,
a
yeah.
lay of the land and see if there's other ways in, like other gates in or out. And if everybody's amenable to that, as we circle, I would also like to be scanning not just for Yuan Ti and blue robes with a white rose, but also if there's another building that looks similar to the one that he saw outside, just in case like they're repeated for some reason.
Of course, yeah.
And
Let's
Because
do it.
if he noticed one and he sees a second, and that would warrant further searching for him.
and
course.
sorry,
I'm gonna-
what is like the general population like here? Like there's heavily armored guys, but like is it more like the merchant class or working class that we
Yeah.
see in the circle? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I was saying yes because my apologies. That's an automatic thing for me to go. Yes, I agree. I should be giving this information. Not so much a yes. I'm answering your question.
Oh.
So upon entering, just like once you still close to the wood ring, right? You are seeing a lot of people who are working class. Who are clearly they either live in the wood ring or you're not seeing a lot of people who are from the shanty town ring, if you will, right? You the odd person you're seeing here and there, right? Like if you're rather perceptive, perhaps you would see like some couple of kids just like running through and someone's chasing after them going, hey, you stole one of my breads or whatever. Anyways, you are seeing more, yes, of the merchant class, of the bourgeoisie, if you will. So you're seeing more working class, more higher. The closer you get to the closer you as you walk closer to the fortress wall, you are seeing more and more people with money. Clearly, you are seeing a lot more Wanti for sure. The closer you get to the fortress wall, the more Wanti you will see, and actually the more pure blood Wanti you will see. And the pure bloods, there's a wide range between the Malison to the pure bloods, but the pure bloods are, if we continue on with this analogy of the evolution of the Wanti, they are the most human-looking Wanti. But when you look at them from a distance, you're like, oh, it's just it's a human or an elf or like or you know, at the moment I'm blanking on all the other species that are like this shaped. Uh, uh, but as you get closer, you actually like again they are still a snake reptilian people, and so their skin is all scales. Their faces have like their noses are kind of squished. They don't Their noses don't protrude like a mammalian body would look like, right?
Voldemort.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, for lack of a better term, kind of, yeah, you know, yeah, just basically, yeah, take that and add more snake to it. Yeah, right.
Very
More
snaky.
snake?
More snake.
Then
Ur,
back.
Tour, I typed in the chat, but just to be clear, Tour's starting to like pet and talk and like whisper to Stupid that he's riding the horse, and I am ritually casting Speak with Animals. That'll take 10 minutes to cast,
Nice.
and then allow me to communicate.
Amazing.
So now that there's like more Yuan Ti around, are we starting to stand out more?
Yes. Like if once within this orange ring, I would say that the population of 1T to not 1T species is more like of a 30-70 split, right? And that is more and more apparent, just for the sake of storytelling, so I don't have to say it a little later on. But the closer you get to the fortress, the more that is apparent that there are just more and more 1T. But like as you're walking, or not walking, you're galloping. We're not trotting through this part of the town, of the city. Like I said, you do still see a lot of other species. Ones that are happen to be working perhaps like in a shop, or like if one of them if you, I'm just going to describe it, walking or trotting by one of the buildings, you see a restaurant that is essentially it's the restaurant that opens up to the road. So people like either walk up. There's a section where there are benches where people can like sit down at a bar, and the person just is on the other side of this bar making the food and then serving. Yeah, and then you see people like either walking up and grabbing the food and just walking away, or some people staying and eating. There's a couple of tables set up, so you're seeing some things like that, and some like a lot of those. You notice a lot of those tend to be they seem to be operated not by 1T, but they seem to be operated by humans, Kenku, like, but they're a little better dressed, right? Because they're more set up for their job here in this inner ring. Does that make sense? That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So if we're all sort of following the idea that Caius had of kind of as best you can going around in a circle, slowly going in, seeing what you find. I do wish to remind you that this city is designed like a crescent, right? Or like a.
It's like Amsterdam, but instead of canals, they're walls.
Exactly. Yeah, that sort of
Right?
idea. Exactly. Yeah.
That semicircle.
Exactly. So you got. I would say that you guys kind of entered in on sort of one side of this, half circly thing, right? Not straight down the middle. So you can start going the long way, if you wish, right? If you're all amenable to that
Sure.
sort of happening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So going down that way. Everyone, let's roll for. Let's start by roll for. We're gonna roll for each of these perception to see if. Actually, no. better than that. All of those who are focusing their attention mostly on trying to find any Wanti that happen to have the blue robes with the white rose, please roll a perception check. If you are, because Caius, you did mention that you were also going to be looking out for these towers. If you are more interested in looking for the towers, if you think that's something that's going to catch Caius's attention probably more, then please roll a perception check for that. You're still rolling a perception check, just basically you're prioritizing one over the other. And let's begin this time with Tur. How do we do?
11.
11. Cool. And
11.
And what?
11.
And who were you looking for?
Sorry, that's it's a skit of like some Scottish guys in a voice activated elevator.
Oh,
Look it up. It's great.
It's so good.
Going to 11. Floor 11. Looking for the blue robe Wanti.
amazing. Okay, cool. All right. Let's go with Chase this time. Or sorry, Rembrandt. I don't know why I keep calling it Rembrandt.
Got a 7.
7. All right. Maeve
23, looking for robes.
for robes. Awesome. And Caius.
Dirty 20, but I was looking for buildings.
Looking for the towers. All right. Cool.
Towers.
Awesome. So, and just to quickly recap, Rembrandt, Tur, and Maeve, you were looking for the blue robes, white rose. Okay, just to make sure. Rembrandt, you are looking around. You're looking around, but again, you're just seeing a lot of. You think you see something, but like again, I think Rembrandt is just a little too focused on just so many people here. So many people who need to learn about OW that you know. I mean, if you want at any point start talking to someone about OW, you can. But you're.
I would love to.
Amazing. We'll come to that in a second. We'll come to that little sidebar in a second.
Yeah, come to that in a second.
Yeah. For Tuur and Maeve, as you are traveling through this part of town, takes you about like 20 minutes, but both of you suddenly spot off into the distance a collection of a collection of people. And what really catches your eye, though, is that someone, whoever this small group of people are all, because all you can see is their backs, they're looking towards. There's someone standing there, but they are holding a flag, a standard, that happens to have a blue cloth with a white rose on, that's just fluttering in the wind. And that is off into the distance. It's the blue with the white that just kind of like bing caught your eye, especially with a lot of these red brick type buildings that are all around you in this area. Caius, trotting through this area, you definitely notice again, same deal, white, gray, almost whitish gray, but like gray. Stone towers about 12 feet tall, with an obsidian peaked roof. This time you do happen to see a door. There's no other markings on it though. There doesn't seem to be anything else except for just a door, which is a similar, matching black to the obsidian roof, a black door. That is, and you actually see two of them as you're riding through. And with a dirty 20, actually, I will also tell you that the first one you noticed, you're kind of like, hold on a second, this almost feels like it's in line with the other one that you saw. Like if you're kind of like geometrically kind of going like, they kind of maybe feel like they were in a line. And then as you keep going, you notice another one, same distance from the road that you're trotting on. So in line with that second one that you saw, but a little bit further down, more about like 40-50 feet. And this is around the time that Maeve and Tur spot this group that are surrounding this banner.
Nice.
Choices.
I got an eye
look
on the
at.
banner.
Oh, go ahead.
I have an eye on the banner. Looks like what we're looking for.
Yeah, I was just about to ask if you saw it. We should follow them.
Aye.
Rembrandt, we should follow them so you can see what they look like.
What?
Oh,
What?
Rembrandt. No, this way. You have to look that way. No, that.
Our left.
The,
Our left.
So
the other left.
and you all kind of notice that Rembrandt now has he has like about a it appears to have like a dozen people kind of following him. The various species they're just kind of following him, and they're all talking, but they kind of be almost in tow behind his horse. One of them actually is like, excuse me, one more question, so if they are all knowing, but they are also wanting of the balance, then why have they allowed the unbalance to occur in the unbalancing of things that are all unbalanced?
That is quite a question, little one. Follow me. You might find the answer for yourself.
And this is about that time where all of a sudden your attention is pulled by Tuur and Maeve, who are like, look over here, and you're like, what am I looking at? What am I?
What?
Where?
Can't you see I'm busy?
Who are all these people, Rembrandt?
They're here to help.
To help, you say? To help?
To help, yes. What's to help us help him?
Could you ask any of them what those gray stone buildings over there are? If any of them know what those are?
Of course.
Yeah.
I relayed that to the crowd.
Of course. You have a Kenku, because I've always wanted to play a Kenku, who walks forward, feathered hands of sorts, and so those are the guard towers. They I don't know where they lead to. I've been told that they lead to an under city, if you will, a sewer system of sorts. Except as you can clearly see, they're off the roads, and so they're not part of the actual sewer system. But from time to time, we see the guards stepping out or stepping in. There's not a lot of light inside. Clearly, they don't need a lot of light to see inside, but the doors open once every 6 hours or so. The someone exits, then someone enters, the door closes, and it continues on for the day, as it always is.
Thank you. You've been extraordinarily helpful.
Oh, you're very welcome. Anything I can do, yes. I'll be of service, of course, yes. You let me know.
You don't. Please, you don't have to thank me. Thank him.
Oh, well, of course. I thank you. I mean, thank you. Thank you. Yes, okay.
I'm gonna sidle up in the way that this is a deep cut reference, but the way that Captain Kirk sidesteps his horse to be next to Jean-Luc Picard in Generations.
Yep,
Anyone
yep.
knows that?
Yep.
It's a very complicated maneuver on a horse. Just gonna sidle up to or next to Rembrandt and be like, "Hey, Rembrandt, I don't mean to tell you what to do, but when trying to join a group of individuals who absolutely hate all the gods, do you think this might be a problem to bring a bunch of devout followers of your special god to them?"
I nod avidly
Oh,
next
no.
to her.
Oh, not at all. You see, all the other gods are false gods, so we have
I-
that
I-
in common. We have that in
I,
common.
I, I am not a
Maybe-
theologian, so I'll trust you on this one.
Maybe we
See,
can.
Ao
Oh,
Ao is above all other gods. Ao.
ow.
So it shouldn't be a problem.
When we
Maybe-
meet the group, perhaps leave the second half of that out. Just for them. Just for them. Just for them.
Oh, of course we must keep up appearances.
Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to be on the same page.
I wonder if we can maybe use your followers as a distraction to distract that group while we, I don't know, like kind of while they're, they're causing a distraction, you can quickly transform into one of them and slip into their ranks. And then I don't know what to do with the rest of us.
Perhaps it's best if we do not split up. Perhaps I can
No, we
shepherd
shouldn't split up.
the three of us, the four of us, in together. If I assume one of these people are influential and strong and powerful and have some sway over the others, so it shouldn't be a problem if I say that you're with me.
Yes,
Wait,
that is
do you
true.
have the ability with your magic to read minds, by chance?
I have a few tricks, yes.
All right, I just
I
throwing it
can-
out there. Something to keep in the, fore of your mind. That's all. That's all.
I can detect thoughts if needed.
Hmm. So should we go follow that group?
Aye.
Yes,
I think so.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you happen to see this banner, let me know and I'll transform at the earliest convenience.
Oh, it's right there. No, it's right there. I
Yeah,
was trying to tell you, it's right there.
Oh,
Right.
I didn't
Yeah,
see it.
that's it,
Uh,
yes,
yes,
Apologies,
yes.
I was so focused on the people, the good people, you know.
Well, of course, lots
Who
of
were,
them. Yes.
in all honesty, quite helpful. So that's good. So we can keep them around for as long as we can.
Please excuse me for a moment. I
Amazing.
say to the group of people, what's that in the sky?
And they all
And then
they
as-
all
as
they all they all look up as like what
As they all look, I transform.
into
Oh my God.
1T pure blood with the blue robes. Because
Okay.
is that like I saw them right? Like I saw the robes. Like I can do the transformation now, or am I missing?
well
Am I missing that?
you haven't as I mentioned
just a flag.
as I mentioned to the group before, everyone just saw a group of people, and they're all you can see was their backs, and they're all looking at something or someone clearly, but whatever they're looking at, in the middle of that sort of semicircular thing, there is this flag that holds the blue. The blue.
Okay, I
background with the
misunderstood.
rose.
So we
That's okay.
haven't seen the actual.
No, you
disguise
haven't.
yet. Okay.
Exactly, you haven't seen anything.
Just kidding.
Yet.
I rescind that. I rescind
Yeah,
that.
no worries. Yeah, no, you have no. Yeah, you have.
Just keep walking with the group.
It's okay. It's okay. That didn't happen. Retcon. Rewind.
Okay.
So yeah. So as you approach the group, you notice that surrounding this group of about 20 people, all sort of looking in and listening. In the middle there is a what was not 1T. What did I decide it was again? What did I decide it was again? I'm sorry. There is a being. I forgot. I thought I wrote it down. Horrible GM. Bad GM. It's not a 1T. It's not a human. It was this particular. It'll come to me in a second. I'll check it. I'll look it up during the break. There is this person. Who is standing in the middle, and they are flanked by two 1T that are rather. They're not pure bloods. They're a little bit more of the Malison kind, except they're not as big. Who are wearing they are wearing their regular clothes, but over top they have these blue robes with the white rose. One of them is the one holding the
there he is.
flag, and then the one that's in front, which like I said, I can't remember what species I decided they were. Again, bad GM. They're the one. You basically, it sounds like you're arriving at the very end of a recruitment style chat, right? Come join the Sisters of Mander, right? As we fight back towards the injustice of the gods. Join our ranks to be one. Join our ranks to be one and to fight alongside the army of Lembara as a military a vanguard, if you will, towards the liberation of the people. And there's a lot of people like, this is really good, yeah, right? If anybody,
the gods.
if any,
Yeah, they're the worst.
yeah, if anyone is interested in joining us, please come forth, and we will give you the appropriate, we will give you the appropriate, pamphlet, if you will, to come to be able to come to our HQ, our base
The
of
gods
operations.
suck!
Yeah.
Boo gods. Do I recognize the speaker? Do I recognize this person who's delivering the speech?
No, you don't. You do not recognize this person, and like some of what they were saying at the end kind of rings with what was originally said to you, right? When you were approached by the group that you were a part of within Forge City, but there's some small differences, especially the fact that like they're quoting that this person is quoting that members of the Sisters of Mander are like a vanguard fighting alongside the Lembaran army, right? That is something that you're just like, we were just people who were fed up with what, you know what I mean? Like that was not the message that was told when you were when you were recruited, right? And the most of the people that whenever you did some recruiting, that was never what you said either, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so a couple people like approach and this person hands them this little wooden tag, right? And thank you, yes, we'll see you later, yes, thank you, yes, we'll see you later, yeah.
I approached to grab one, maybe.
Some people disperse. You approach to grab one, yeah, sure, cool.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Sister Tiefling. Yes, of course. Here you go. Yes, all are welcome. All are welcome in the fight. Yes. You armored one. You look like you're well equipped for our services. Of course. Here you go. And they hand you one of these as well. Looking at this tag, it's simply a number, a name, and then a time, and it's pretty obvious that this is clearly an address and a time.
We have the same time.
Yeah, everyone has the
Nice.
exact same everything. Yeah,
same.
everyone has the exact same everything. The time on it does say noon, and with all of this sort of exploration of sorts, right? You were looking at around 10 o'clock at the moment, right? So clearly they're asking people to come to their HQ, for lack of a better term, their church or whatever, like their hall, their place that they would like to send the message, if you will, to share the message of the Sisters of Mander. Is at noon at this address.
What time is it right now?
It's around 10 o'clock. That's what I was, yeah. Yeah.
Guys, and then I like show them this. Well, obviously Or has one, but I was like, we should be here at noon.
Intriguing.
That's where they're gonna recruit them. This is how they did it with us.
And how did it
All
work
right,
with
then.
you? What happened after you were recruited?
They just assigned us. They gave us groups, and they're like, these are the friends in your groups. You watch out for each other. This is where you go to stay. And then they just provide food and shelter. And every once in a while, someone would show up. Sometimes we would talk to somebody. We don't really know them. Sometimes they just give us an envelope and give us the details of something that we gotta do. And as long as we do it, we keep on being able to live there and eat and stuff. And obviously, we have to agree with their
Were
message.
you given the bomb, or were you told where to retrieve it?
Previously,
Aye.
I was there to help set off the bomb. I
So
didn't
you
personally have the bomb.
you didn't retrieve it or were given it, so we're not sure if they're, because while it might be great to join an organization of militants trying to kill all the gods and all that in the name of the people, but we still don't know where this explosive device is.
No, but I don't know. Maybe if we go to this meeting place, it might be their headquarters, and we
You
might
think
be
they would
able
I
keep
think-
it there?
well, not the bomb,
Maybe,
but
but it's a
probably
s-
get
It's a
somebody.
step in the right direction, though.
Aye,
They
aye.
might know where to find the bomb.
Maybe we can meet a higher ranked person who might be able to tell us one way or another. Rembrandt
Kill
is
them,
very
take their
persuasive,
identity.
or that, or that.
Oh, we can
You know, I
persuade
still
them
am
first.
trying. I'm really trying to place this god of yours, because at certain times you seem really friendly, and other times extremely violent. I just can't place it. No, I'm still working it out. I'll get it. I'll get it. I'll get it.
Oh, well, it's all above us. We're mere vessels for his splendor, Master Dwarf.
So during this
If you would
And when they
like to
initially-
listen, if you would like to listen, all will be clear on time.
Well, maybe you can tell me about this during this 2 hours that we're gonna wait through.
Oh my god, 2 hours of just listening to Rembrandt. Just like
Rembrandt
tell us
preach.
how-
and we're gonna go on break for 2 hours. Bye, guys.
It all started many, many
In the
years
beginning
ago.
was
In
the
beginning.
and the word was good.
and then
Speak-
suddenly,
speaking of actually, two orders want having cast if it's been 10 minutes.
yes, oh, it definitely has. It definitely has. Yeah, you've had, yeah.
Tuor wants to just follow up with having completed casting Speak
Stupid.
with Animals with Stupid about like if Stupid. I mean, happy to paraphrase the conversation, but just like if Stupid recognizes the area, if Stupid has any recognition around like these circles or the Wanti, if he can see color, if he recognizes the blue cloaks. Basically just trying to get a sense of like Stupid's relationship with the city, anything that's familiar.
Yeah. So the first thing when you actually start talking to him, he's just like, wow, wow. Like he's just like he's really
great, isn't
awesome.
it?
Yeah. He says. So yeah, we can paraphrase this for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if horses can see color. I know that like.
We just
I
got it
know
in
that,
the
like-
chat. Annie just popped it in.
Oh.
They see
Googled it
blue,
for you.
green
They see blue.
variations of
Oh, sorry. Oh wow.
blue and green,
Not red.
Oh, that's amazing.
but not red.
Oh, neat.
Lucky us. Lucky random choice for the DM to choose blue.
Right. I was unaware that you were going to ask the horse if he could
Find
see
it in
color.
the beginning.
You know what? While you were having this conversation, that is the reason why. You were able to spot. Stupid was helping. There you go.
Amazing. I love
yeah.
it. All right, 100%. Yeah.
But
Win.
so basically, Stupid. While he's been to Limbara before, he has very rarely on occasion has actually been into all the way into the inside. Like there was a very rare occurrence once where whoever was riding him did go all the way to the inner ring, like to the fortress ring, and he was there for like a day. He just remembers the stables being really cool, really awesome, right? Like they were really pretty. Everything was very clean. Not a lot of horses, but you know. And then the same person got back on and then rode back, and that's like that was the one time all the other times he's been in various areas of this city, but like he usually is just like he just loves this place. He just loves it so much, like the same affection and admiration that he expressed last week when you first met him, and he was basically like perfecting his art.
Can I pry him for a description on who rode him into the center?
This was like 5 years ago. He doesn't really remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it just a person?
It was just someone who like
Cool.
yeah, and then at one point he was like
Totally.
there's-
Tour's totally gonna be like, you could tell me a lot. Oh no, actually, Stupid has something to tell me. I'll be right there with you, Rembrandt. It just I got the horse has something to say. Oh,
so
I do want to hear. I really want to hear about your supreme god, but I have to talk to the horse.
So while you all after these tags, these wooden tags were handed out, the one T that was holding the flag, or the 2-1T, and this person, which I can't not remember for the life of me the name of the species, have gone. They like you were just a little too distracted. They kind of just disappeared. They slinked away, if you will, into the shadows. Into the group, into the people. And the blue robe and the blue flag is no longer to be seen. You're again just regular town folk seem to be walking around. You see a couple people like that are chatting. They're like, "Oh, yeah, this is gonna be really cool. Yeah, I think I'll grab some lunch before I go. You know, it seems like a really, you overhear a couple people like this particular conversation. You overhear like, I think I'm gonna grab some lunch. Sounds like we might be like, it sounds like today is the day where they might be asking us to go on this trip. I'm really interested to hear more about this. So maybe I should So I'm gonna grab some lunch. Do you wanna come with me to the unnamed local pub just down the street? Yeah, cool, all right, awesome. And then they just kind of.
Do we want to follow these guys, or do we want to do our own thing?
How long is a short rest in our in-game time?
Oh, I would say that like an hour ish. Like it's like as long as you're taking like
1 hour, and so we have 2 hours.
Yeah, you have
right
2
now.
hours. Yeah.
All right, so I'll meet you guys there. I have a little something I want to check out. Tour is going to spend an hour investigating these towers and sewers
Cool.
in the form of a rat.
Nice.
Aww.
Amazing.
And then which he has an hour that he can spend in a rat form, and then return and take a short rest with that final hour.
Amazing. I love it.
So that'll be the kind of, and we can just, you can just tell me, or I can roll. We can just when it's time.
Yeah. No, I love it. And so you so basically you're just telling the group though, I'm just gonna go see a man about a horse, about this horse, and I'll see that.
And take off. He's gonna take off his armor. He's gonna leave the armor with Stupid, and just like leave Stupid as like tied up to one of their horses, and then just walk off without his armor. Okay. And I'll meet you guys back at the spot, at the place, at the time.
Cool. Yeah, it just for argument's sake, right? You ask and someone tells you, like, gives you directions on where in this and it is in the orange ring where you're going. It is just like somewhere in the middle section of this ring. That's a big building. It's hard to miss, is what they say. Cool. What about the rest of you? Any ideas?
I'm happy to go along with the group, but my only request is while Rembrandt is telling Maeve about Ow, we're gonna have a Nicolage moment.
A what? Sorry.
A Nicolage moment from like '99.
I don't know that reference. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Nor do I.
Don't any of you watch B99?
Wait. Yes.
Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
The
B99.
his adopted son.
Yeah,
the top itself.
Nicolaj. That's
Yes.
the only
Okay.
request I have, where we have a Nicolaj moment about how to pronounce owl.
I remember I watched Brooklyn Nine. I just don't remember this Nicole. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna have to like it's 9 o'clock now. We might as well take a break.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear what Caius and Rembrandt would like to do, and then when we come back we can just kind of like into that into those moments. So Rembrandt,
I'll
yeah.
keep preaching. I'll keep preaching, trying to get as many kind of NPC characters to follow me as possible until noon.
Okay, awesome. And Caius.
I would actually like to, if everybody thumbs up on this one, take everybody's horses, leave the ring that we're currently in, and go out into the previous ring and find a stable and pay them way too much money than I should to take really good care of our horses and keep them on the outermost area of the city.
Okay.
But still protected away from like the shanty town.
Okay. Cool.
Works for me.
Cool. Yeah.
And then
Awesome.
return on foot back to the neighborhood that we're in.
Okay, cool. Nice. Awesome. All right, so on that note,
Dukovar says, "Don't forget my armor."
yes, that's very true. That's
Oh,
very
okay.
true.
We'll grab his armor.
I'll bring that. I'll bring that with me. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm assuming then you pass along the information to Maeve and Rembrandt, and Maeve and Rembrandt, you guys are both like, yeah, that sounds great. We'll just go over here and sit down, and we'll just wait, I guess.
Yeah, going
Or
out.
I want to talk to the people.
Or are we all meeting, or are we
Yeah,
all going to meet at
Sermonize. I'll be right back.
Done. Awesome. Alrighty. Then on that note, folks, we are going to take ourselves a nice little 10-minute break. 10 minutes because the new music that we have playing during our break time. I only have about 12, 13 minutes of it, so I don't want to lose track of time and then suddenly come back and everyone's just like, we've been waiting and it's been so quiet. so we'll come back in 10 minutes. It's 9:03 according to my clock here. So 9:13 we are back and we are good to go, and we will resolve these little hours at that time.
Excellent.
Awesome. Break time.
You think you know the game. Think you can play. You don't know a thing. Been down here for so long. My pain and rage are carved in every stone. You try to bring me down, but I keep rising. You aren't ready for this fight. I know I will burn your dreams to ashes. crowded room. Your body pressed to mine. I wanna drown in the feel of your lips, be devoured by your eyes. When you smile at me, I just can't breathe anymore. Feel like I'm falling into your bliss. Your love, it sets me free. Fell into your love, willfully drowned in your eyes. Oh, take it all. I'll give you more. Grab me hard, drag me down, choking on your inside. We cling in the dark, we rise and we fall till we break. I'll take it all and still I'll beg you for more. Drag you down with me and make you dirty. Wanna have some fun? Come play with me. I'm not the one, but let's have some fun. I'll be the one, just for tonight. Drag you down with me and make you dirty.
Go. Alrighty, folks, we are back. Sorry, that 10 minutes lasted a little longer. I apologize. But here we are. We are back. And again, if anybody is curious about the music that you were hearing during the break, that music is from an artist named Xanis. You can find her more of her music on if you look up Xanis music on YouTube. I'm just gonna pull up. There it is. Xanis at Xanis music. I'm just finding it where I had put it previously in the chat. Here we go. And
Xanis with
paste.
an X.
Boom. Yeah, Xanis with an X. Exactly. I often joke around with her and I pronounce Casanis. Casanis is Casanis because I'm always like with the X sound. But yeah, and Xanis also does have is also on Spotify. Again, doing a search of Xanis music, she says should get you there. But yeah. So if you'd like to hear more of her stuff, right? And she was, I hope she's working on more new things because yeah, I love listening to her music. All right, so we return. So let's start real quickly here with Caius, right? It's something pretty quick and easy that you're going to be able to do, right? So you said you were grabbing the horses, you are returning back to the wooden ring, and finding a stable. Now you said, did you want to find a stable or a place that you could keep the horses that was, you want to say close to be able to get out? Are you trying to find one that's closer to the wooden wall or still one that's closest to the orange wall?
I think probably closer to the way out of the city rather than closer to the inner ring.
Okay. So basically, you're looking.
Ideally,
Sorry.
ideally wherever it is, I would like to also make note of where the nearest guard tower is to it.
Ah, you mean one of the
The gray brick buildings.
Yes, excellent. Roll for me a. Sorry. Grabbing some water out of my water bottle here. You know what? You're gonna schmooze with the common folk and ask questions. And so let's see here. What do you think? Persuasion, performance. What are we thinking? Like, or charisma? Charisma, actually. Maybe a little charisma.
I would
action.
love a persuasion or performance. Oh, just charisma? Straight up. Okay.
Yeah, let's do a straight up charisma because it's basically you're chatting with the folks and you're just like, hey, I'm just looking for this thing, Yeah.
Cool. It's a 19.
19. Awesome. Just to be clear, like you were gonna be able to find what you're looking for. Just how long it would take you to get there, right? Because it's reasonable. I'm a reasonable GM. I try not to make things too difficult for you. Just difficult enough. Yeah. So very early on, you're able to sweet talk a couple of folks into pointing you in the direction of a stables. It's not a very a very big stables. Once you get there, you realize you're like, oh yeah, it's not really that big. Like it literally is just like a post that can maybe house four horses, right? Like wrapped around that horizontal post, with a very simple cloth covering over top, so that the horses are in shade at the very least, right? There is like a fence on the side. Again, very simple fence. Basically, it's just like four posts, and it's just big enough for four horses. But it is also, but you are very lucky in the sense that it is like just 10 feet away from one of these guard tower things that you were looking, just happen to be looking for. Yeah, and so you find the place. The attendant is very kind and is actually very happy to see someone using the space, and I believe you said you were gonna give them. You were gonna be very generous with your.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
give him 10 gold. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. They're
It's
just
them.
yeah. They are extremely thankful.
I'm very aware that that's probably for this area a lot of money. And I'm just gonna say real quick, take very good care of them and make sure they're relaxed but ready. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, and they like they're nodding and just looking at thank you,
Glance back in. I wouldn't keep that out. Pocket it. Put it in your pocket.
Yeah. It's here and puts them
Surreptitious.
here
Come on.
and here
It's
and
yours.
then puts
It's
them
yours
here
now.
and puts them in this pocket and yeah.
I'm leaving before I see wherever else I can.
Excellent. And just out of for opportunity, you are right next to one of these towers. Did you want to take a look at it, or did you want to just head back?
Yes.
Yes to.
I assume that there's a. I would like to take a look at it.
Okay.
I assume that there's a door on this one. Right?
There is, yes. So upon further inspection, this one is built similarly, if not exactly the same as the one the two that you saw inside. So circular, round, 12 feet tall. It's about 8 feet in diameter, and then there is a doorway, black door, metal black door, and no other markings, no other nothing. Black obsidian peaked roof.
I would like to be as sneaky as I possibly can be, so I would please like to make a stealth check as I do this.
Of course.
I would like to approach the door and just test to see whether or not I can move it or if there's a handle that turns. So stealth check. I rolled a 19.
Roll the 19.
So it is a 29.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay, so I was like, yeah, 19, yeah, sure, you, and then 29. Yikes. Okay, so Stealthy McGee here. You walking over very stealthily. No one doesn't even look like you're doing anything. You do notice that there is a latch. It is a very simple latch. You do see that there is a locking mechanism. So this door does lock. It is lockable from the inside and the outside. There is with a 29. I will also give you some perception-y things in there as well, because 29 basically you like literally walked up, surrounded by a bunch of people who are probably like busy doing their own thing, and you just basically were just like. And no one saw you do it. You do notice though that with this metal door, it looks reinforced on the rims of it, and in the center, at about head height, there does seem to be a little window with bars that, and obviously on the inside there's a little latch that opens up, and so whoever's on the inside can see out if they open up that little latch, and then close it back up again. But you do not see any hinges or anything like that. You don't see any latches. Like on your side, it just literally is just flat, except for the reinforcements. This little window, which is slightly reinforced with the bars. Yeah. And then
Okay.
lock mechanism with a simple latch, simple lift up, close down sort of thing.
Okay. Can I try to lift the latch, but I'm certain it's going to be locked, right?
It's locked, yes.
Okay. Then I'll just move on. I was hoping that there would be maybe some kind of way that I could put a mark on the inside of the door or something, but I don't think. I'm not gonna put that in the dice god's hands. I feel good. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave and return to the party.
Cool. Well, I mean, you know what, for a 29, I will give you this one further piece of information that is going to build upon information that you noticed earlier when I mentioned that they seem to be the one that you saw on the outside seemed to be in line with the one that was the first one that you saw on the inside of the orange wall section, right? And so
Yeah.
kind of take a look around, and you can do one of these things, and you do one of these, like you get your positioning, if you will,
Okay.
and if you would like, once you get inside the orange wall, you can either confirm or deny whether or not this one also appears to be in line with another one that you might find inside the orange section. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caius will definitely take note of that now and want to figure that out.
Cool. Awesome. Let's go to Tuur. So you walk away from the group and find yourself in a space where, as you described, you decide to transform into a small little rodenty creature.
I think so I was looking, and I think I made a slightly different choice.
That's okay.
Which is that of a spider.
Ooh, nice.
Also tiny,
Mhm.
but a spider can climb surfaces, including upside down on ceilings.
This is true. This is true.
So Tour's gonna just like walk towards one of those brick guardhouses, and in a moment when he either can, like, being a dwarf, he's already pretty small, like slipping behind just like a barrel or a corner, and then
Nice.
he's gone. And the little tiny spider is just going to crawl itself towards the door, slip through whatever crack it can find,
Yeah.
either under the door or there, and just going to spend. So I've going to spend like 30 minutes going into this, going downwards towards like whatever sewer or tunnel there is,
Yeah.
and trying to see whatever like security is there. Gonna spend about 30 minutes moving at as fast a speed as possible so that I can come back and be out by about an hour.
An hour-ish. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So yeah, as a spider, you're able to flatten yourself enough to crawl underneath the door. It's not a perfectly sealed door. We are still talking, not modern technology where we have fully sealed, airtight doors. And upon the inside of this tower, you are immediately greeted with a landing, which is obviously where the door opens up onto, and then a set of spiral stairs that go that go down. For watching Ghostbusters the other day, where do these stairs go? They go up. Well, these stairs, they go down. You're a small spider, so but you can move pretty
And
quickly.
just crawling like on that. If it's a central pillar that they're spiraling around,
Yeah.
like crawling just on that pillar,
Yeah.
just fully like not underfoot.
Of course. Yeah, there, like once you're in there, there's no one in there. There's no one in there, and
cool.
there's also no light on this level, right? So when you're in, like it's very difficult to see, but like you do have some ability to see in the dark.
Dark
a little
vision,
bit.
30 feet as a spider.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So you're able to see. You're at least able to see that, like, there is no light, but you have enough. There's enough lighting in your ability. You go down, and you go down what seems what appears to be about 3 flights of stairs value, right? Like it's spiral. And when you get to the bottom, the stairs land and open up to a hallway, and in the hallway there is definitely some light, and this tunnel um, expands outwards in both directions. You do hear like some commotion, like you do hear, but it kind of echoes. It's if you want to make like a perception check to try and like really hear what's happening, but it's a really long tunnel, and it's actually very well built. Like this is mason work. This is like as a dwarf, you are like, yeah, this is pretty good. It's not dwarf workmanship, but like because we can like literally just chisel perfect walls in the stone without actually. This is actually like it's been chiseled. There are bricks. Like it's reinforced to be like usable, right? Looking both ways, you do.
I rolled a
see...
21 on perception.
Awesome.
21 on perception.
Cool. Nice. So, a lot of the commotion that you hear is down the tunnel to the right. Right. It is quite far. You do hear a couple of voices. They seem like they're just chatting away. What exactly they're chatting about again is a little indistinct, right? They are kind of just talking at a regular level. You just happen to hear them because echo. With a level 20 perception, I'll also because now you can see very well. There are some. Every now and then, you do see some doors. They're very nice wooden doors as you're going down these tunnels, and every now and then you do come to a tunnel that kind of that does like a T junction or a plus junction that splits. Yeah. Did you want to keep going down the right towards the voices?
I'd like to go towards the voices. Yeah.
Cool. So about 20 feet down that hallway, you approach a door that is open, and when you crawl around the inside, you notice that you've entered into this room, and it looks like it's a barracks. There are some beds. Some of them are beds that are just like made out of wood that are in the middle of the room. Some of them are they're chiseled into the wall. So there's like a set of like bunk beds that are chiseled into the wall, and then there's like a couple of rows of beds that are in the middle. And the people the voices that you heard was basically like just a bunch of 1T soldiers of either the abomination or the Malison of various sizes, in various arrays of dress in their armor, just having like conversations about their day. What did you roll again for your perception check? Just curious.
Perception was a 21.
21. Yeah.
But I don't speak 1T.
Okay.
I speak Common and
Fair
Dwarvish
enough.
and Druidic.
Also fair enough.
I wouldn't understand if they're speaking their own language. I wouldn't understand it.
Yeah. It's a lot of syllabic S's.
Nice. Yeah, I'll take. I guess like with whatever time I have, this is great. Like kind of clocking this barracks, counting the number of soldiers that seem to be stationed there, or the number of beds available. I want to, if I can orient myself, basically trying to go as far as I can down the tunnels towards the center, and just keeping an eye, trying to keep an eye on like the doors, the turns. Basically, if we were to come through this coming another way, to be able to kind of orient. And if anything else specifically comes up, otherwise just like finishing the reconnaissance and then returning.
Of course. You continue down that tunnel, like to the right just happens to be the direction that you want to be going. You want, like, if you're trying to go deeper, like in towards the center of the fortress. At one point you hear a large crash, and you actually hear Common, and the person goes, "Careful with that! Do you know what would happen if this thing just suddenly just decides to, I don't know, blow up?" and you hear like a lot of like grumble, 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 a little bit of Wanti. You're not fully familiar with it, right? And the voice is like I don't care. Be more careful. It's heavy. Find more people. And then, yeah, and then you hear,
I'd love
and then,
to.
and
I'd
then you
love
hear
to get
footsteps.
closer.
Yeah, and then you hear footsteps as they're like marching away. Yeah. So as you approach where this sound was coming from, you come to a set of double doors that are open. And inside this set of double doors is this very large room, right? As you approach closer to the double doors, this is like huge. Like you now know why this is going down 3 flights. This is like 2 floors worth of room, right? And there's a lot of stuff everywhere, right? And if you would like to roll for me
Yeah.
how familiar is would Tuor be with like steampunk s type technology, like the simple type technology that that you know that like similar
Ooh, that's a good question.
similar to what the gnome technology you had
It's
in
it's
Legion, but-
gnomish, right? That technology is gnomish originally
Yeah.
in our world, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Because if it is gnomish, then he would have very little connection with it,
Okay. Cool.
because he spent most of his time in dwarven environments.
Of course.
So
I
yeah.
just asking because I just want to like set up the level of difficulty sort of thing of like what you
course.
recognize in this room. So please roll for me either intelligence or wisdom. I think is probably the best. Probably like whichever one is your better.
Choose wisdom if I can.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, whichever one is
Yeah.
your better stat.
Nat 20.
Amazing. So, you've
Plus 3. So 23.
okay. So you're not 100% sure what this stuff is because again, like you're not familiar with gnomish technology, and it's still compared like for those of you in chat who have been listening to the amazing the amazing adventures that the Monday crew have been doing with Claire and Sean and Sam and Coy.
And Keen.
And
shout
Keen,
out.
thank you. I was like, that's why I was like pausing because I was like, hold on a second. He plays Harold, but I didn't want to say
And that's
Harold. I
fine.
want
Harold.
to,
Harold.
yeah, it was Harold.
Yeah.
I want to use. I was picturing Keen doing this with his camera.
Yeah.
Uh,
Our halfling player sometimes is like, he does like this when he's playing. He's like, okay, guys, I don't know what we're gonna do next.
So as I was saying, as you know, gnomish technology is in its infancy compared to what still very advanced, right? Still very advanced, but let's just say in history, events occurred where technology was people needed to depend more on technology, and so by the time we reach Koi's history of the universe, technology is much more advanced, but nonetheless, there is some gnomish technology, and it's also at this point as well in our history has also evolved to incorporate some magic in it and whatnot. And so when you're looking around, you're looking around and going, okay, this is definitely, as Keen would say, gnomish shit.
Yeah.
And you see a bunch of different you see some Wanti walking around, and they're dealing with certain things along these tables and desks and chairs. But what's important is this large thing in the middle of the room, which is clearly being hoisted back up by these 2 very large Wanti Malisons. These you thought the guys outside were big. These guys are like really beefy, and they're in the process of trying to lift it back up onto like a horse, a carpenter's
wooden horse?
A carpenter horse. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, a carpenter's horse, which clearly has been like got knocked over, and that was the loud noise that you heard was this thing, like off kilter and falling down to the ground. There, in the middle of the room, is this large cylindrical construction. Just a lot of metal. You just see tubes and things, and in the center of it, you do see a glass section, or clearly it's made of some sort of material that, because whatever is inside of it is glowing, and yeah, that's basically the commotion that you're like another
How
wonky
big
at
does
this moment.
is it? It's like it's bigger than what any of us could lift by ourselves.
Yes,
This-
like
this-
I
okay.
would say it's like the size of a bed, queen size bed,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So, and cylindrical in shape, right?
Cool.
With like tubes and things and other whatnots, right? Another couple of large Wanti come running in and help hoist the thing up, and someone gets the horse underneath it.
So this looks like a place where it's staying. Like they're not moving it. They're not taking it away. Like this is like where it looks like this is where it's being kept, as opposed to this is where it's being moved from.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, that's all I need. I
Yeah.
just need to know how to
Yeah, no,
get
you're
back
just
to
like-
this
you're
room.
like,
I'm gonna go. Yeah, got it. Big explosive thing. Done. Gonna skitter back along the ceilings and the walls as a spider, back up the spiral staircase, making sure that like there's no one like at the top of the stairs or like near the bottom of the stairs.
Yep.
When I get to the top of the stairs, I'm gonna turn back into a dwarf, and if I can unlock the door from the inside, I will. If I have to break the door, I will try to do that.
It on the inside you also see a keyhole, so clearly when someone, even on the inside, you need a keyhole, you need a key to unlock it from the inside as you do from the outside. So you will either attempt a sleight of hand to try to figure out how to open it, or yeah, you're gonna have to try and break down a metal door.
It's a metal door.
Yes.
Can the spider fit in the keyhole?
I mean, how big of a spider are you? Like,
It's a tiny spider. Just a normal spider. It says tiny size.
yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm planning because it's a little bit mean.
Yeah.
What I want to do is I want to go into the keyhole as a spider and then turn back into a dwarf.
Okay. Awesome. Not something I was expecting, but okay.
And I think just for my own safety, and this is I'm now finally revealing my full hand to the rest of the party. Little spider's gonna crawl into the keyhole, and then the little spider is going to lift its front two arms and go rage, and then turn back into a dwarf.
Amazing. So, you, as you know, cinematically, if we're looking at this, right, we just see like, boom, 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 like the little spider starts bulging, and all of a sudden, boom, right, and you bulge out, and you're part of you is like up against, like you're like half part spider, part dwarf, and you're up against the and you start getting bigger, 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 and all of a sudden you reach the point where you're like as big as the keyhole itself, and there's just this extra little there's a moment where if we were watching this on a TV show or a movie, right, people would go, was this a smart idea? And then suddenly, if we want to suddenly change the camera angle to the outside of this door. If we're looking, actually, this image that comes to mind. We cut to two people that are walking down the street, and suddenly there's just like a poof, and part of the door just goes right in front of them and slams up against the wall that they just happen to be walking beside, and they look over, and you're just like, and you're standing in the doorway. The door is basically split in two. the inside part is still attached to its hinges, and it's just swung open and just like slammed up against the wall on the inside. The other side that was facing out has gone flying out, and the hinges did kind of catch it, so it just kind of went kind of like this sort of thing as it spun out, and the doorway. So now we have. When you quick question here too, or just so we have like a good image here in our minds, when you wild shape, do your clothes wild shape with you, or when these people suddenly go and they look down to see you in this doorway, are they seeing a very, let's just say,
He's a hairy boy.
or do you at least have some clothes on you that are magically inclined to transform with you?
I'm gonna roll.
All right, dude, I love it.
Yes. Some the basic like undershirt and basically it's like not even pants, just like an undershirt that's long enough to wear a belt around kind
Yep.
of thing.
Yep.
Like the sleeping gown.
Love it.
Puro natural.
Yeah.
And so Tour comes to be full-sized in a rage, sees these people and just starts screaming at them and chasing them.
They are scared for their lives and they are going to run. Mad run.
Right. When at a certain point he's gonna just like the rage is gonna kind of subside. He'll kind of just like find himself in that crowd and then get himself close enough to where we're gonna be meeting and rest for an hour.
Awesome. We'll say that you snap to your senses relatively fast enough, realizing you're like, right, shoot, like, can't be raging for too long, and you're able to like control.
I think it's a minute if I don't get hurt, right? If I don't attack or
that's
get
true.
hurt, then it's like
that's very true.
it
That's very
drops
true.
in a minute.
That's very true. Very true.
But I do lose one of these.
Yeah.
uses.
Oh man. Okay. How? Like, are you? When you're raging, are you basically like just
Yeah.
wanting to fight anything and everything you see, because you're still in a very populated area, so like you scared off these two people, but as soon as you're starting
No,
chasing,
I think
you're
the
gonna see
way-
more people.
No, I think like the way that Tour like especially within this context, because it's not like a battle rage. This is
Right.
the type of rage where it's like a bro at a gym who has to like live his personal record.
Okay.
And so it's like, all right, got to get myself into this. Like I got to break this lock. Like let's go, you got this.
Yeah.
Woo! And then just like Hulk out and then come to and just see people and kind of it's like, what do you want, bro? You want to go, bro? And just kind of like that kind of energy. I think is that's the kind of rage energy that this one is.
Amazing. Cool. So yeah. So
And
then
when no one engages back, it's more just like, oh right, yeah, cool. No, that's good.
amazing. So so you scare off those people. A couple other people kind of peek around and like, "Ooh," and they just kind of like move off. You are lucky enough that by the time you are gone, from that area, right? You are not spotted by any of the Yuan-Ti guards who happen to come around because they heard commotion and some people were scared
Lucky me.
and freaked out. And so you meet up with you go back to meet up with the group, correct? At that
Yeah,
point?
I wanna if I have the time to take that hour to get a short rest in
Of course,
to
of course, of
reclaim
course.
that wild shape.
Of course. Well, I mean,
Thank
I
you.
will.
Thank you, everyone.
I will say that on your walk back, like you're able to find like a meditative sort of and just sort of start that like rest of sorts, right? Yeah. And now
Nice.
so when Caius and Tuura eventually do come back to meet up with Rembrandt and Maeve, what in the world has been going on with you two?
Um, so it's really striking Maeve as weird that like the Sister Amanda is just like so openly advertising, like they're
Mm-hmm.
not, like the guards are just letting them do this in the city, um, and like they're openly recruiting, and they're just letting this happen. They have a platform, so I think
Mm-hmm.
Maeve does want to spend part of those 2 hours kind of like talking either to like the bartender or just like somebody sitting at the bar being I mean we don't have to play this out. It could just be a paraphrase of being, like a summary of the situation.
Yeah.
Um she just wanna she kind of wants to know what is like the general reputation, I guess, of
What's
they seem to be well known in the city. Like,
yeah?
what is their general reputation? Are they like, are people scared of them? Are they like militants, like, um,
What's their deal, basically,
and
right?
what is their deal?
Yeah. What is their deal, guys? Like, what in the world is
What is,
happening?
like, what is up with these sisters?
Yeah. So the yeah, you strike up a conversation. The bartender is yeah, he's quite happy to talk to someone who is curious. They themselves they say that they don't really know much, but what they do know, they tell you. So about a month ago, um, uh, uh, General. One second here. I gotta. What's the general's name again? General Rooksmell, who is the leader of Lembara. It is a militant state of sorts, right? So like the general is also the, um, you know, top brass, of everyone. Um, uh, was suddenly was suddenly appearing, with a friend. This new person just happened to show up, and the bartender has no idea who this person is, and but just suddenly it's as if it's as if overnight the general had a new best friend, and they were they were broing out, they were doing everything. Um,
So many bros.
I know, sorry. I should. There are sisters. There should be. Anyways, um, uh, uh, may I just point out? May I just point out the General Rooksmell is a female presenting Wanti. Just putting that out there.
Hmm.
So, but that's on me. I was using the he they pronouns, so I apologize. But so suddenly the general has this new best friend, and they seem to be almost inseparable. And shortly afterwards, of course, this whole Sisters of Mander group starts being spoken around Limbara, and it started off slow, but there was a recruitment movement, for people to join, and the bartender points out that while whoever is a representative of the Sisters of Mander, is always flanked by two Wanti, the person who is always speaking to the people are not. Um, uh, and it and it seems kind of strange that like the that all the people who the Sisters of Mander seem to be uh, approaching and recruiting are not Wanti. They are of the other races, species who are living in Lembara. Um, they don't seem to be very picky though. Like they approach people, all the people of the different rings, even all the way down to the shanty towns. They don't go there very often, but like it is like it is that sort of thing, and that uh, more and more, throughout this past month, there have been. At first, it was a lot of speeches from the general, who was a lot of like, uh, 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 you know, our new friends, the sisters. They're going to help us with our plans and our movement. You know, victory will be ours. That's sort of, you know, really weird promotional speeches. But more and more as the month has gone by, it's sort of balanced out to being this person and the general equally speaking these uh, in these speeches, these long what's the word I'm looking for? Speeches. Yeah, speeches is the word I'm looking for. Uh, they do happen to mention they do mention to you like the name of this person. The name of this person is Krell Mars, uh, and uh, and when I'm not even going to ask you to roll this, Maeve. When the bartender mentions that this person's name is Krell Mars, you suddenly are just like freaked out, or maybe not freaked out, but that's the same name as the person who was the leader of the group that you were a part of. It is the exact same name, right? And so, and I mean, like you already kind of pre-warned by Fritz that like this appears to be the exact same person. How it's possible, we're not 100% sure yet, maybe. But now that this person has kind of confirmed the name, you're just kind of like it's just one more like, you know, peg, if you will, in the row of, or one more domino in the row of dominoes, being like, okay, so now we can even confirm that it's the same name. It almost is the same person, maybe, like, you know. But one thing is interesting though, is that this they do describe this person, and while a lot of the stuff that they, when they're describing this person, you know, X tall, you know, black hair, you know, fit, and uh, 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 the one everything seems to sort of line up with the Krell Mars that you know, or that you are aware of, except for the one small fact that they are like the way that they're like, this person is like Wanti, or like half Wanti, and that is something that you're just like, okay, then it can't be the same person, because the person that you know, right, was human, right? The Krell Mars that you know was human, and so you're like, okay, well, everything else lines up, but then why is this one seems to be have Wanti features, right? And so you know, in your conversation, that's basically the information that you get in this like hour long conversation, is like, back and forth. You get a little bit of like the sense of what the city is like, right? You know, that like, they explains that, you know, the fortress is predominantly military. So if you're not part of the military, you're not really going into the fortress level area. Um, uh, you know, yeah. If you happen to ask about like, oh, but I saw the how do people access the ships? He can tell you that like from this ring you can also access the ships, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like, are they in good standing with the general population? Like, are people kind of scared of them? Are they or are they regarded as like a harmless cult?
The Sisters of
Or
Mander?
the Sisters of Mander.
Sisters
Sorry,
of
yeah.
Mander, yeah, the Sisters of Mander. In For the most part, people just seem to, like, for the most part, people just seem to believe and trust in the general, and they're just like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah,
Okay.
they're cool, right? Which is why like a lot of people are interested, you know, and are fine to listen, and they'll go to the recruitment talks and stuff like that, and they'll,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Great.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to know.
cool, yeah. And Rembrandt, who have you been talking to?
The people. The people.
Of course, of
Mm.
course, of course, of course, of course, of course.
Yeah, I'll with the last couple minutes here, I guess I'll spend my time just yeah, continuing to talk to the people, and at this, you know, preach about how, and kind of convince them to kind of obey my every whim.
Yeah.
Should I need them to do that. And one thing I would also like to do is I just want to roll a quick insight check
Of course.
to kind of like scan the crowd and see if there's anyone who's maybe watching me, who's pretending to be listening and is really has kind of other motives potentially.
You're trying to see if there's anybody who looks suspicious that they could be. Yeah.
Yeah, like if like maybe one of the like sisters are like, watching me and like trying to like notice me, like I'm trying to see if I've got any like attention that isn't purely just followers.
Of course, of course, of course. Before you do that, I will say that in your hour you do have a couple of people who, you do notice that you do there are a couple of people who are a little difficult to reach. Um, uh, the odd time you even heard some people go like, "Stupid gods! No gods, no gods!" and they walk away. Um, and so, just saying, you do have a crowd of people, right? With various degrees of like people who are just like hanging on your every word, and some people who are just like, we're listening, right? And then you have the odd, very rare, but the odd group, the odd person who's just like, "Ugh," and just walks away, right? But yeah, go ahead and roll that perception there for me.
Or it's insight. In
Oh, sorry,
particular.
insight. Sorry, my apologies for getting that wrong.
Yeah, my perception sucks. 7 plus 4, that'd be 11.
Awesome. So you look around and no, you don't really notice. You don't really notice. You do like. I mean, it's very obvious. You do notice that there are a couple of the Wanti guards, right? Because they are clearly wearing military garb, so armor and whatnot. That are as you have been prophesizing. If that's the word. How you're supposed to say it. The further and further the more and more you go, the more and more of them you do see. So if you continue for the whole hour of sorts, doing your chatty chat, if for the whole hour, I will say that you have about 8 guards who are now like just on the outside, uh, watching. They don't seem to be doing. They don't seem to be aggressive. They don't seem to be doing. But they are just standing there watching. Yeah.
There's one more thing I want to do, but I don't think we have time because it's
Do it.
it's 10 o'clock.
Do it.
Do it. All right.
Last thing. Last thing.
I'm going to try. I could really shoot myself in the foot by doing this, but I'm gonna try and
Go big or go home.
well, first I'll do this. First I will specifically well, hang on here. So how taboo is magic here? Like if I was to like cast a spell, would one
Magic.
No? Okay.
Magic is commonplace.
So-
Magic is everywhere, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going-
I haven't been like specifically mentioning that you see magical things because, as I mentioned earlier, magic is common. Magic is everywhere. Everyone like if someone can use magic, someone is using magic.
Okay, so then what I will do is I'm going to do 2 things. I'm gonna use my awakened mind to send a telepathic message to kind of the most kind of one of the tougher looking guards who's maybe not the smartest, and I'm gonna try and kind of convince him of what I'm saying. So that's number 1, like directly speak to him telepathically.
Okay.
And then if he's like pretty receptive to me, I'm also going to cast suggestion, which is an 8-hour concentration spell, and I'm going to get him to like essentially obey my every word as this god's like voice. Like I'm going to try and convince him that like this god is speaking through me directly to him,
Yeah.
and that he's been like called to a higher purpose.
Just out of curiosity, are you still an orc pirate? Because it just dawned on me. I was
No,
like,
so that
"You're
I was
still-"
going to say that. So at this point, I've like transitioned back into my regular humanoid
Okay.
form.
Okay. Awesome.
No
awesome,
longer a
awesome. 'Cause I was
pirate.
just like,
So I should have taken the hat off too. I forgot about that. I'm no longer in my
Commitment
disguise.
to the bit. Commitment to the bit.
Oh my- oh my-
Love that the
oh-
hat
oh my
was there
God.
the whole time. Whoa! What happened to our orcish pirate friend?
All right. Yes, Rembrandt. I
Al
will.
works in mysterious ways.
Rembrandt, go right ahead. Is it a contested roll? Do I have to contest?
All right.
We're
So
rolling?
for the deception, no. That well, I mean the deception. I suppose you could. I'd have to roll for that. And then for suggestion, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it pursues the course of action you describe to the best of its ability.
Cool.
The suggested course of action can continue for the entire duration.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
I think for that
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to use the big die. I'm gonna use the big die for that contested roll. So go ahead, and the final two things that are gonna happen before we have the good night goodbye for this week. So go ahead and roll your first roll to see
The
if you're
deception.
able. Yeah, the deception. Getting it warmed up.
Advantage because of my actor feat.
Hello. Don't need
Alright.
don't need the chat to give you advantage on that one.
14 plus 9 will be 23.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah,
On the
you
deception.
yeah. Like you look as you're looking around. When you start when all of a sudden you realize you're like, oh, I have 8 dudes here, and the last dude to walk in walks in with another, or slithers in with another Wanti slightly ahead of, and he's clearly a foot taller than his counterpart, and that's the one that you catch eyes, and that's the one that you're like, so yeah, so you're in his mind, you're talking, you're chatting, and now I have to roll this to see how he does.
Yeah, the wisdom save.
Okay. You know what? I should have set this up. 1 second. I'm gonna roll it right here, and I'm gonna let chat see what it looks like. I'm gonna let chat see it. All right, here we go.
Yeah, and my spell save DC is 17.
Oh God. And it's you said it was wisdom. Oh,
Yes.
Their wisdom is actually pretty good.
17's really good.
Wisdom, yeah. 17 is pretty good. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Toss. Keep everyone in suspense. It's great. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's check it out, chat. Let's check it out. Come on. What did we roll? I gotta set up like a dice cam. Ba 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 ba. Do we see it? One sec here. I'm seeing it catch up on my feed. Oh, it's very difficult to see. Yeah. So we got a 6. So you now in your thrall, Rembrandt, you have yourself a like 7-foot tall Wanti abomination. That's the one that's like half. The lower part is a snake. Is a snake tail. You have one in your thrall for the beginning of our next session, for the next 8 hours or so.
Wow.
Whew. Okay.
Yeah, I'll
okay.
flesh out the specific suggestion later, but I'll flesh out very specifically like the wording, like for next session, so it's like set.
Yeah.
But yeah, great, cool.
Of course. Yeah. I'm sorry, Vikavar. We're gonna have to keep that as a suspense for next session, for the exact wording of our adventure. And so that is it for tonight, folks. That is it for tonight. Our episode tonight was called Between a Rock and a Stupid Place, and I think we are definitely there. We are definitely still in between those two places. Yeah. oh, I'm sorry that you'll have to miss next week, Vic. But that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. We have been, just like with our Monday night adventures, we have been downloading them and then uploading them to the YouTube channel, so you'll be able to catch up with next week's adventure. So again, because this is episode 1, so the very first one of these Behind the Veil little campaign sessions in the series, they run for 4, maybe 5 sessions. So next week will be part 4. It is highly possible that next week is the last part of this session, and we'll have to see whether our adventurers are able to complete their mission or not. And it's okay. I'm okay if they don't, as but we'll have to see. We'll have to see next week if how that goes. So until next week, folks, thank you very much. Have yourself a wonderful weekend, and keep those dice rolling.
You think you know the game, think you can play. You don't know a thing. Been down here for so long. My pain and rage are carved in every stone. You try to bring me down, but I keep rising. You aren't ready for this fight. I know I will burn your dreams to ashes. I fought my way up from the bottom before. I'm not afraid to climb again. I rise every time. You try to bring me down, but I keep rising. You aren't ready for this fight. I know I will burn your dreams to ashes like a phoenix. Oh, I will I love the way you look at me. Like we're the only ones. When I'm with you, the world fades away.